Well, hello, and thank you for joining me for another decaf coffee break, or video blog by any other name. This is number 4, I believe, and we're outside thanks to the wonderful California weather, which has decided to shine at last. We've had rather more rain than we expected, but you know, we need the water, so I shouldn't complain. I was going to set up yesterday out in the middle of the lawn. I called it a lawn, it's more like weeds, but one thing, it was very hot. It was rather breezy, which was pleasant, but still, I was kind of hot and bothered because I just spent the morning hammering my mailbox in. The neighbour over the road had just had a few friends round, actually quite a lot of friends, and some of them parked outside our house, and one of them left and took my mailbox with them. Well, knocked it down anyway, so I had to hammer that in. So yesterday I was a little bit hot and bothered, not quite in the mood for doing this. So I've come up on the deck, sitting beside my pal the Pensterman here, to talk to you a little bit. I had questions a lot about what I do in the studio and so on, and I've taken, well, all 3 questions from one of the contributors to my blog, one of the commentators, and a couple of the questions. One of them they asked was, why do I wear headphones in the studio? Well, if I were working with a producer or a director in the studio, I probably wouldn't need to, and don't, in fact. But when I'm on my own, I like to be able to hear the atmosphere, things that I might have missed just from my regular ears. So I do what I did at the BBC, and it's an old habit. I've got used to listening to myself in one ear, like that, and I have them off one ear like that. So I can hear myself in the atmosphere of the room, and I can also hear what is being recorded at the time I record it. So any pops or crackles or electrical interference I will hear, which I wouldn't hear if I didn't have the headphones on, because I'm on my own. That's why I wear headphones in the studio. These are not my studio headphones, these are a bit bulky, but just to show you how I wear them. Another question was, do I read from manuscript? Well, yes, my ideal is to read from something like this. This is the manuscript for Under Heaven by Guy Gavriel Kay, which is now available on Audible and elsewhere. And this is single-sided, printed on a single side, and it's slightly bigger than the book page, quite a bit bigger probably than the book page. That makes it very easy for me to sit there with 3 sheets in front of me at the same time, so I don't have to be turning pages or anything when the mic's on. I take a break if I make a mistake, and I'll move the sheets across then. And then all the sounds, we hope, are edited out. That's my ideal. I do, of course, work in other ways as well. Sometimes I get the book to read from, and that's all. At which point I do something my wife absolutely hates. I take a razor blade to the spine and I cut. So the book comes out like this, and I then can only read from one side at a time, and I have to take a break as I turn the pages. So that's a little more awkward, not my favorite way. But those are generally the 2 ways I record, and obviously the ideal is to have it all on one side, and then I don't have to rustle the sheets. And there was one other question: do I record, edit, produce, and everything myself? Well, obviously I record myself in the studio. I don't have a producer, I mentioned that, or a director in the situation I work in here. I do a quick edit after the recording to make sure I've taken out all the mistakes that I've noticed. But that doesn't mean there aren't mistakes in there that I haven't noticed, and as a result the publishers will always take my recordings and go through them with a fine-tooth comb, what's called quality control. And that may happen once, it may happen twice, and technicians go through and they'll make sure everything sounds perfect. So that's what happens. So I do most of it myself, but I leave the final quality control to the producers. And that's it. If you have any more questions, I'm happy to answer them. You've caught me right now probably in the middle of what could be thought of as my Russian period. I've just finished a book called My Life as a Russian Novel, which was absolutely fascinating, translated from the French. The author was Emmanuel Carrère. I'm about to start a book called The Holy Thief, a thriller set in Russia in the 30s, and I've just been assigned a book to come later in beginning of July. I think it's going to be released in August, so it has to be done quite quickly, and I think it's called, can't remember what it's called. It's by Alex Dryden, anyway, and it's due out in July. So I'm in the middle of my Russian period. So, до свидания, and I'll see you again soon. Take care. Bye.